All right, let's get to it. This is the Rocker Dogcast, the only show that talks to musicians about the positive impact of their bestest boys and goodest girls. I'm your dog conversation tour guide, Tim Dill, and today my dog Charlie and I welcome multi-instrumentalist Emily Moore to the show. Emily has performed with the likes of Fun, Good Neighbours, Dua Lipa, and Taylor Swift. You can catch Emily later this month back on stage with Mitski as they tour the Far East. And this is her esteemed little rocker dog.
My rocker dog is a little 20-pound mix named Alfie.
When you say mix, do we know what the mix is?
I do because I'm a millennial and I did the DNA testing.
Excellent.
He is mostly Chihuahua and Shitzu, and then he's got some miniature Pinscher in him, which I see when he runs, and then a little bit of Poodle. To me, he looks a lot like a little golden retriever.
Funny, yes.
Got in there, so just a little Chihuahua guy.
I wrote the comment that he looks like the quintessential dog if you were to look up dog in the dictionary.
Yeah, I know he does look like that, and he has a little red collar he put on him, and yeah, he's an esteemed little guy.
But it is that golden looking profile. That's funny. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, did you get him in the summer of 2020?
2021, yeah, but in the middle of COVID.
Okay.
This is our first dog. This is my first dog ever. We had cats growing up. Ryan, my husband, had dogs, but never in like our adult life. And we really wanted a dog during COVID, just like everybody else. And it was really hard to find one. And then this little guy, we went to the shelter to get a different dog we had talked about. And when we got there, they were like, "We feel like this little guy is the right one for you." And we're like, "Okay." And they like put him in our lap, and we're like, "Yeah, definitely." So he was ours from the get-go.
Oh, that's interesting. And did you have any trouble? Like, you insinuated back at the time of the pandemic, the shelters were, all rescue shelters. Anybody who had a dog was out of them.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's why we got him in 2021, I think, because it just took so long to
Oh, so
find.
that process did dictate how long it took.
But yeah, I mean, it was great. I've never seen anything like it before, where all the dogs that needed to get adopting were adopted. So
Yeah. Did you know much about his past life or his
no,
upbringing?
I really wish, don't you like always want to know what
Yeah.
happened? Oh, it's so sad. I wish he could tell me. But he was potty trained and he knew how to sit. He was only a year, didn't have a chip or anything, but somebody definitely owned him because he seemed to know a lot already.
And the name, did you guys name him or did he come with a name?
Same with Toby, but we didn't at when we got him, they thought he was a Tibetan Spaniel, and so they named him Toby. But yeah, we named him Alfie, which I think suits.
It does. And did that have any significance?
No, I just really like old men names for dogs. I've always wanted a cat named Roy.
Burt Bacharach, didn't he write the song, What's It All About, Alfie?
Yeah, I know. We live in like a community where a lot of people are around for that song, so everywhere we go, we take them there. They sing it to us.
That's too funny. Now, speaking of the pandemic, I'm just curious of the context. What was your were you on tour? Did you get something shut down prior to the pandemic?
Yeah, gosh, it feels so long ago, but I was in Lithuania the day they shut the borders down.
Oh my gosh.
I was with a band called Ex Ambassadors, and I think so far away we just didn't really understand that it was happening so quickly. And my husband was like, "You guys got to get home." So I woke up to a text one morning, and like, we're going to the airport in 3 hours. Everybody get ready, and we flew in through Paris, and it was just chaos. But yeah, we were in the middle of a European tour. We still had Russia. China was on our list, and they'd canceled that a few weeks prior just because that was obvious. But
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm leading up to a question that it seems you tour a lot. Even, trying to book you on the show, you were back with Mitski really around the world. Looking through your social media, you're on the road with a lot of different bands, a lot of different artists, which is exciting. I'm curious if you go back to 2021, having Alfie, has Alfie changed your relationship to what you consider home to be?
absolutely. I mean, a lot of stuff has changed since then. We bought a house out here in Palm Desert. My husband and I got married in 2020. But yeah, like honestly, touring has become a little harder just as we get older. And Alfie, I mean, I can talk to Ryan when I'm gone on the phone. I can't talk to Alfie, and I miss him so much. It's so hard.
Do you FaceTime Alfie?
He doesn't see me.
I've made that argument a lot of times. I don't think my dog really registers screens. I don't know if he can't see it or if it just becomes a blur or what, but
Isn't that interesting? I mean, certain dogs you can tell are absolutely reacting. His little best friend looks a lot like him, and she will just respond perfectly to a screen. But I don't think he can see it. I don't think he really understands.
Yeah. Now, as a musician, I've seen you play guitar, bass, keys, drums, with the likes of Mitski, Good Neighbors, ex-ambassadors, like we mentioned. If Alfie were to introduce you, what would he say your job is?
Dog walker, probably. Like
That's
I'm
what
here
you've been
to
reduced to.
I think so, yeah. Dog walker and treat giver. I would tell him that he should introduce me as a multi-instrumentalist. I guess it's like my favorite role to play. It keeps me interested, and piano and guitar came first in my life, and my dad was a guitar player. So that will always be my number one, but it's so fun just doing everything and trying to like get better in different ways.
And what was your big break?
Fun. Right out of college, I had some friends, some connections and stuff, and it just worked. I think I was in the right place at the right time and met those guys and did their first like full band tour with them and then just stayed with them till the end. And yeah, I got to do a lot of cool things and see a lot of amazing things. And yeah, that was wonderful. Kind of opened the
That's
doors.
great. I did notice that early on your Instagram. And you realize that your very first post on Instagram, it's March 17th, 2011. It's a cat.
It's Dylan. It's probably Dylan, right? Yeah.
And
Oh
who
my.
is Dylan?
Dylan was the cat I got in college. It was like my first animal of my own. Yeah, she was great. I loved her so much. I got her as a little baby. We found her outside. My boyfriend's sister at the time was training to be a vet, so she was like always just finding animals, and I was like, I want this one. This is mine. So Dylan, yeah,
Yeah.
she passed away a few years ago, but she's so sweet.
Let's get into a little bit of I've been involving myself with more and more. Like I started by volunteering at the shelter. I've since taken a part-time job at a boarding facility that's, attached to a vet. So I'm seeing more of just dogs almost away from their owners or interacting with services. And
Yeah.
I'm curious, does Alfie ever go to boarding?
I think he has a lot of separation anxiety. We tried in the beginning to do like doggy daycare just because in Palm Desert it gets so hot during the summer. It's hard to even walk him. Like even after the sun sets, it can be 100 degrees and the ground is really hot. So we are like, oh, maybe he'll get some energy out at doggy daycare, but he doesn't really love it. Luckily, we have a couple of friends here that we met because our dogs liked each other so much. So he'll go over to their house when we travel, or if, one of us isn't here. And sometimes they're just like, can we drop Bailey off? And they'll just hang out. So it's like his little bud, but not so much boarding, unfortunately.
Yeah, I got to admit, from what I've seen behind the scenes, dogs are not fans.
Is that true? Oh
Yes.
man,
Yes.
being away from their owners or the way it's set up, or
I think just being away from their owners. There's plenty of dogs that love, the playtime, but there's just a lot of dogs that they're just and it's heartwarming, but it's like when their owners come to pick them up, they are freaking psyched.
it's a good feeling, but also you're kind of like, I want you to be happy on your own.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a few dogs that are happy-go-lucky, but there's a lot of dogs that are stressed, unfortunately. What about grooming? Does he need grooming?
Yeah, he does desperately right now. Again, like it gets so hot, we can't stay around. So we've started, well, I say we, my husband started doing it because he broke his back in 2024. And we think it's because he like was resisting, I don't know, like he just doesn't do well with like being handled or something. So
Authority.
authority, yeah, I guess so. But I guess it's common for dogs that are long like him. He's very
Mhm.
long, that it can happen over time. And he had like a surgery. Thankfully, he recovered, but it was like a 4 month recovery. It was a lot. So after that, we're like, we'll just take as much as we can away from the stresses of that. So he's fine when my husband shaves him. He just doesn't like being left and handled.
What about the vet? Is he anxious at the vet, or can he
Yeah,
handle it?
we found a great vet. He used to be, but there's a new vet. It's called Paws and Claws in town, and he just loves them, and it's cute, and it's all like set up. There's no pie tables. Everything happens on the floor, and there's like pillow. It kind of looks like a living room, and you just go in, and the vets sit on the floor with them, and that's made a huge difference. So he's been really good with that, and they're so nice there.
That's great. Now, another little thing I've introduced to the show is I've taken adages or common expressions about dogs, but I want you to confirm or dismiss whether you believe it.
Okay, I'm ready.
So the first one is dogs are a reflection of their owners.
I confirmed. I think so. I definitely think so.
Okay. So if true, how so with you and your husband?
Um, I think we're not shy people, but we're calm, quiet people, and I think Alfie's a bit like that too. He kind of just can't be bothered. Like he just wants to be chilled pet. I think, yeah, in that way, if we were like more boisterous and stuff, I assume he would be more.
Yeah. Okay. The second one is dogs give unconditional love.
I think they do in their own way, but you have to learn to accept it the way they want to give it. Like our sweet little boy will just like lay at the bottom of the bed and we have to beg him to come up. And then sometimes he does and we're like, yay, like thank you for listening. But I think he prefers to just be just a little out of reach, but know that he's watching us and like, we're here. I just think you have to accept it in the way they're willing to give. But absolutely, I think they're there for you all the time.
Okay. Last one is dogs live in the moment.
They must, right? I think so. I think their memories are short.
Yeah, I don't know. I
You
don't know.
you
I've asked this question before. I don't really have a strong opinion either way, but I think, and we got into the discussion of motivated dogs. And if a dog's food motivated, they know 2 hours from now they got a meal coming.
That's a good point. Yeah, Alfie's always will wake us up when it's time to eat and kind of come get us when it's time to walk and stuff. Yeah, that's interesting. I never thought about it like that, but you're right.
But I think it's a good, it's a good way for people to, I guess I can ask this question, but it's a good way to people to look at a dog and be like, take something positive. Like I should be more like a dog and live in the moment. But I
Hmm.
think it's projecting versus reality because I don't think there's any way to really test it.
Yeah.
But I guess that naturally leads to what do you learn from your dog or what do you take away from dogs?
I think they're great listeners. I think they're really like, this goes back to the unconditional love thing, but they're just a really good friend. And I think I'd like to portray that as well. Just be there for people. And yeah, they're just kind of always there for you.
Good companions, solid companions, reliable companions. Do you talk to the dog often?
Yeah, yeah, all the time. We make up stupid songs. We've just turned into little dumb brain people, just singing about our dog everywhere we go. We made some song the other day called Park Pooper, where he's all excited about going to the dog park because he wants to poop in the dog park. So yeah, we're idiots.
Is the dog park a good experience for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, for there's a lot of community there for sure. But Alfie, for some reason, he just loves it. Doesn't matter if there's dogs there. He likes hanging out with the dogs, but he just loves going and sniffing and like it's nice to see him happy. And he clearly, that's his favorite place to be. So, but there's a lot of people we talk to. We have made friends.
That's great. I know some people, they feel the dog parks are a little too wild, and it's more a problem with the owners not having a handle on their own dogs. But it's good to hear that it's been a positive experience for you.
Ours are, I mean, I don't know if everybody's is, but ours are separated into small and big, and that helps a lot because on the small side, there's only so much you can do. Although he really doesn't like bulldogs. Have you experienced that with any?
A particular breed? No,
Just
no. I mean, my dog's very much prefers people than dogs. Like he'll ignore them on walks just completely. Is Alfie, does he prefer dogs or humans?
humans.
Does he have his people? Does he have certain friends of yours that he knows?
Definitely. My friend Jenny, who plays bass in Mitski, she'll come up. She's coming this weekend, and he just loves when she's here. There's one friend of ours that has been our best friend. He played in Fun with me, so I've known him for over 2 decades almost, and or a decade, I guess. And he was the first person Alfie met when we adopted him. And for some reason, he just like won't stop barking at him the whole course of our friendship. And I feel so bad. I'm like, it's not you, Will. It just must remind him of something in the past. But I don't know. You can't choose who your dog likes, I
It,
guess.
well, I hope this isn't difficult to talk about, but you posted about a cancer diagnosis back in March of 2024.
I did, and it's not fun.
And and I'm glad, I assume everything is good and well. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. And in the particular post that you put up on social media, you had 10 pics, 10 pictures. And some of them seemed to be about what friends and family had given you for comfort. And two of the photos were of Alfie. So I'm curious in this saga you went through, what role did Alfie play, good or bad?
Oh, he was the best. Yeah, he was just like, I don't think he knew what was going on, but he was always, it was just such a comfort to have him around. And so a lot of my treatment happened in San Diego. So the whole family, Alfie included, we'd drive down there sometimes up to like 4 times a week. So we were gone a lot and he was so good in the car and we would take him to the dog beach and that was like, oh, it makes me want to cry just thinking about it. Like somehow experiencing his joy through that was really, really helpful to me. Um, Also just like laying with me on the bed. He just laid with me all day long when I was going through treatment, and it was so nice. We had to do quite a few rounds of IVF to get some embryos before I went through my treatment.
Hmm.
And one funny thing, the way Alfie kind of played into that is that, like you said, Charlie barks at Amazon delivery packages. I had to give myself shots quite a few times a day, and I was always so scared that he was going to bark right as I was like giving myself a shot. So we had this whole routine where Ryan would pick him up and he'd walk outside, and then we'd count to five, and I'd give myself a shot, and he'd come back in. It was like this whole thing. He never barked. It was all anxiety in my own head, but it's funny. He played a role throughout everything. It was great.
Yeah. Well, that's nice to hear, and I'm glad to hear of a good recovery. I often recount when I was going through a herniated disc that required surgery was just being laid up
Mhm.
and having guilt that I'm not contributing to my family. I'm not giving my kids rides here and there. And my dog was just a steadfast companion. He wasn't asking anything. He wasn't saying anything. He was just there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. My friend Jenny and I talk about this a lot actually, because I think as humans we want to co-regulate our emotions with people around us, which doesn't always work and isn't always the healthiest thing. But with animals, like you said, they're always there. And I think for some reason co-regulating is a lot easier to do with them. You just kind of like, let it all out. And they're not taking it in or anything, they're just there to hear it and be there for you and soothe you in a way that humans
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. The perfect sounding board.
Yeah.
It's funny, you mentioning having a conversation about a dog. Have you had, and again, looking through your social media, I see a lot of some of my previous guests, and I'm curious, when's the last time you had a conversation about a dog with one of your fellow musicians?
Last night with Jenny, we talk about him all the time. She was watching a friend's dog and we were both just like going for a walk, singing songs to the dog. I mean, it's not, I feel silly saying it, but he really takes up a lot of my life. It's really nice. And I'm sure that when we're trying for a family, I'm sure things get a little tougher when that happens, but like he's just such an important part of our life.
Yeah. I also get the sense by the way you're answering it, he brings a lot of levity as well.
That, and I think something that my husband and I are always kind of, levity is important to us in a lot of ways, especially with a lot of stuff we've gone through in the past few years. You just have to kind of take it lightly and see the humor in it. And yeah, I think you're right. Alfie brings a lot of levity to the house.
Yeah. No, my dog is when I get stressed, it's like nothing better than just getting with him and
Well,
and telling him my problems.
I know, it's so nice.
Well, I wind up every show with what I call the Zoomies, and that's five fast, frivolous questions.
Okay.
First, I keep changing up, but it is currently, is there a pic of Alfie on the home screen of your phone?
Usually, honestly, usually, but my dad passed away recently, so I have a little picture of us as a kid. But yes, usually.
Okay,
On-
well, again, I'm sorry for your loss, and given the what's gone on, an easy substitution to make. Okay, question two, you've kind of alluded to this. Does Alfie have a theme song?
Yeah, like the poop song. Yeah, currently it's Park Pooper. He's a park pooper. Yeah. So I don't know if that one will last, but for the week it is.
Okay, one of these days I need to have my guest actually record a park pooping song for me. So
All right, well, I'll
keep
get
that
on
in
that.
the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, question three, which I've made me think of another question. Hypothetically, if Alfie went on tour with you, what would you put on the tour rider for Alfie?
He loves turkey. He loves turkey and he loves apples, weirdly, and blueberries. He like eats healthy. I don't eat like that, but he gets excited about vegetables. So
Good for him.
lots of vegetables.
I'm impressed.
Oh, actually, and eggs. He loves eggs.
Hard boiled or scrambled?
Yes, hard boiled, but I'm too scared to give it to him now because one time I hard boiled an egg for him and I handed it to him just straight down.
Oh,
Didn't chew at all. Look at this guy. He's so small. I
yeah.
couldn't believe it. I was like, I thought he was gonna throw it up, but he just and then looked up for more. It was crazy.
Could you see it go down his throat and into his
It
belly?
all happened so fast. I was like, "Are you breathing?" Yep, ready for another.
Okay, question four. Do you have a dog voice?
Yeah, I think it's a little high pitched. Oops,
Okay. More of the kind of quintessential little bit of baby talk.
exactly.
Okay. Question five. Is there
Mhm.
a dog organization, a service, or an individual that you'd like to give a shout out to for doing good for dogs?
Can it be all animals?
Yeah.
Um, I was thinking about this recently. There's a vegan restaurant in our town called Chef Tanya's, and I think she was in LA before, but she's amazing. And she opened up a place next to her restaurant called Chef Tanya's Kittens. And she has like adoptions for mostly cats, but I think I've seen some dogs there and stuff too. And I just think it's a really cool thing because people will go eat food and then go next door and visit the cats. And even if you can't adopt them at the time, like just the visitation is nice. It's in like a normal, comfortable environment. So I think she's amazing what she's done with that. And also just I'm a vegetarian myself, and I think that that's really great to put out in the world.
Well, Emily, I'm glad we finally got this screen time to talk dogs.
Thanks for being patient with me. I am so happy to be here.
What do you have in store for the rest of the year? Do you have it planned out?
Yeah, I go back out with Mitski in July for the Asia run, which will be really exciting. But I'm home for the month of June, and I'm just planning on resting and cleaning books and doing nothing, which is going to be great.
I can imagine and understand.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, and best of luck in the future.
Thanks so much. Alfie, you want to say bye?
He
Goodbye.
pops up. Goodbye, Alfie.
Carl, you're a damn good dog.